Hello, Holy Cross community, and welcome to Home Ec. And this week we are going to make tortilla Espanola, which is actually definitely one of Margot's favorite dishes.
Yeah.
I think because it's sort of like breakfast, and who doesn't like eggs and potatoes and onions mixed together? And it's yummy. So it's also something that you would find if you went out for Spanish tapas. It's a popular dish in Spain. So we are going to make tortilla Espanola, and it actually takes a little bit, it's a longer process. I've done a couple recipes over the years, and this one I think is the most authentic. It takes a little bit longer because you have to really brown your onion, and you have to cook your potatoes in the oil.
Peel the potatoes.
Well, you peel the potatoes first. But so I'll take you through the steps, and hopefully you have everything mise en place. We went over that, or if I haven't gone over that before, mise en place, do you know what that means?
No idea.
Okay. Let's talk about it. So mise en place is a French term for, I think it's loosely translated as putting everything where it belongs, or putting everything out, or getting everything ready, organizing your ingredients. So if you like to organize, this is for you.
Watch the home edit.
Home edit. We do love the home edit. So to mise en place means to get your ingredients ready, so you're not, scrambling for things in the kitchen when it comes time to cook. And especially if you have your kids with you, it's good to have things out.
Hey.
I'm not saying that you're young. I'm just saying that, kids. So what do we need for this, Margot?
Okay.
So
we're going to need a tablespoon of
right here, just tablespoon
of
olive oil plus 2 cups of olive oil. We're using the olive oil to cook the onion, and then also to cook the potatoes.
And then you're going to need to have a yellow onion that is going to be thinly sliced. Mm-hmm. And then you're going to need salt.
Salt, yeah, kosher salt. Got my salt.
You're going to need four.
You're going to need
4 medium potatoes.
So you want to get it to about 3/4 pound. It's usually maybe 2 medium-sized potatoes, but I only have these tiny ones that I got in my Misfit box. I don't know if anybody else does that, but I have a scale right here, so I measured it out to 3/4 pound.
And you're gonna need eggs.
I just brought out my whole egg container right here. So 8 large eggs.
At the container store.
Oh my gosh, we're not plugging the container store or home edit, just things that we enjoy. So we have our mise en place out, and the first step we're gonna do is
we're gonna
cut the. You want to heat up the tablespoon of oil?
Sure.
Okay, so now. Are you gonna measure it, or are you going to just sort of eyeball it?
I'll measure it because I don't like eyeballs.
Okay. So this is the tablespoon.
You would usually eyeball because you're much better at this.
And I'm going to use, Margaret, let's use this one for the onions.
You won't spit at me, right?
It's not on yet.
Okay.
No, you're just going to put it in there. And I'm going to get to cutting the onion.
Can I do this over the sink? Because I'm scared I'm going to spill.
I mean, I do it over the pot, and that way if it spills a little bit, it's okay. Do you want me to help you because it's so full?
No, it's okay.
Okay. All right, just take your time.
I'm just going to, wipe it off.
So I'm going to cut the onion. Here, I'm going to face this down now. Okay. I feel like you guys have seen me cut onions a couple times now, so you know what it's all about, right? But this time I'm going to slice them. I'm not dicing them. I'm choosing to slice them, and then we'll heat them up. And the onions are going to cook. The onion cooking process is the longest process of making this dish.
How many of these?
Just one tablespoon. I mean, it's okay if you get more in, honey, because you need the fat to cook the onions. Oh no, I hope I don't cry right now. Okay, so we're just going to slice these. So I've halved it, and then now we're just going to slice. And I'm actually, oh my gosh, my eyes are getting teary today. I don't know if it depends on my allergies or what, but
I put a little bit more in.
That's totally fine. So I'm just doing a thin slice, okay?
Do we need this again?
Well, I'm trying to just
not floating on the top.
All right, so I'm going to finish slicing this. And then, Margo, can you turn that on to, I would say about 7. So I would say a medium heat. I'm doing maybe a little bit higher.
Not medium heat.
All right, do 6. Do 6.
Okay.
I just don't want to show anybody my eyes right now because I'm really crying here.
Should I put this in the sink? Or do we need it again?
Keep it out. All right, so I have my onions, and I'm going to bring them over here. Excuse me. And then I'm just going to sort of, when I'm dropping them, I'm trying to separate the little rings so they all get some oil on them. And, all right, so we've got those in there. I'm going to put a little bit of salt, just a little dash of kosher salt. Do you want to do that, Margaret? Just take a little scoop and do it around there. I'm going to wash my hands so I get the onion. And so, like I said, the onion process is actually the longest process of this recipe. So we're going to let it go for about, I would say 30 minutes. You're going to watch them. They're going to get, you want them to get soft and dark brown. Here, I'm going to put this out while I'm talking. So soft and dark brown, but you don't want to burn them, obviously, so you do have to watch them. You can't just sort of leave them there. You will have to stir them once in a while. So we've set a timer, or actually Margot did, for a half hour for our onions. But like I said, don't walk away and leave them alone. You want to stir them once in a while. Make sure they're sufficiently coated with the oil. Oh, did you put a little salt in there, hon?
Yes.
Okay. Put a little salt in there. And now, again, with them soft and browned. In the meantime, there's a couple things we can do.
So,
we are going to
peel your potatoes.
Yep.
So you're just going to take one potato at a time, and you know the business. Just take a peeler and peel anything you want to do.
And while she's peeling the potatoes, I'm going to get the oil ready. Now, this is going to seem like a lot of oil, okay? But again, we're doing this more in the traditional sense. It might be too hard for you to do over a bowl. I think, yeah,
okay.
I'll do it right here because that way you don't have to lean up.
Okay.
Make it easier for yourself, right? So I am going to put in 2 cups of oil, of olive oil, into a saucepan. I'm just going to reach around you.
Of course.
I have a saucepan right here. I'm going to measure out my 2 cups, and I have a measuring cup right here. And you are going to be reusing this oil throughout the recipe. So you're not discarding it right after you cook the potatoes. You're actually going to use it to cook the eggs afterwards. So here we go. 2 cups into my saucepan. All right. And Margot is working on peeling. How's it going, hon?
Pretty good.
Is it hard?
Nope.
Do you want me to do some with a...
Nope.
Nope? Okay. I'm just going to put this on the stove and give the onions a good little check. Move them around. Looking good. The temperature doesn't seem to be too high. It does. Well, I mean, if you cook onions, it's called the mirepoix, right? The onions, celery, and...
The potato smells good.
The potato smells good. Carrots, it always smells good. So if you want to smell good, just start cooking onion and butter. So we are going to, once Margot's done peeling them, I'm going to take them and chop them into cubes, maybe 3/4 of an inch cubes. And then we're going to put them into the oil. I am going to start heating the oil over medium-high heat. So I'm going to go to about a 7 on my induction stove and start heating that up. And we'll continue to peel the potatoes. Okay, so we're about 10 minutes, right, Margot, into our cooking our onions. They started to brown. I started seeing some darker brown on the bottom, so I did turn them down to a medium heat, almost medium low, so they can go a little longer.
So we
want them to get dark brown. Right now they're medium light brown, so I will keep my eye on it, and if it's less than a half hour, then we pull it off. And then also I started heating my oil. I said a medium-high, but I actually lowered it down to a medium because we want to lower the potatoes into it and then bring up the temperature. So, Margot, do you want to cut the potatoes or shall I?
So we finished peeling all the potatoes. Potatoes.
Let's see. We said like a 3. I'm going to do like an example for you because that helps, right?
We did do 5 just in case like one was like...
Well, because sometimes with a potato you never know until you cut into it if it's going to have a
that one was a baby's potato.
Right, so I think the sizes that we want are about like this. A cube, 3/4 of an inch to an inch. Well, that's not a cube, really. It's not a perfect cube. We have some mathematicians here, but I would say like this size, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you want to continue to cut that?
Sure.
All right, so she's going to cut the potatoes, and I am going to continue to watch the onions. Yeah, that's good.
Or that in half.
I think that's good.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, you probably want to do it. It's probably easier to make it uniform.
Okay.
So cut it in half, okay? And then cut those, like, uniformly. So they're all the same size instead of making, like, chunks.
Okay.
Yep. Try to find a way to, like, make them uniform and sort of like using math, right?
You want to make them wear uniforms?
Not wear uniforms, but uniform in size.
Fine.
Okay, so Margot's going to continue to chop or to slice or whatever you're doing with the potatoes. And then I am going to watch the onions, and then we'll come back in a bit.
Okay, so we
You did. I want them to be able to see our faces for a second.
Okay.
Here we go. Okay.
I diced the potatoes.
It's the day of the word. It's hard to say. Does anybody have one today?
So, and now they look like this.
And they're all uniform, not wearing uniforms, but the same similar size, okay? So we have them right here. And like I said, I started to heat the oil. And because I already started heating the oil before I put the potatoes in, I'm going to lower them gently with one of these little, like, basket ladles. Okay, so
I can see that.
Well, I'm going to go over to my oil. I had that 2 cups of oil, and I'm going to put them in there. So they already started to fry a little bit.
That's better.
Because I don't want the oil, especially if, Margo, if you were doing this, I wouldn't want oil to spatter up to you. This is hot oil already, okay? So lower things gently into hot oil. It's a good lesson to know.
Too much.
I'm going to try to fit it all in there. I'm going to try to do it. It's a challenge. Okay. All right. We have all the potatoes in the oil now. You want to wait until you see some bubbles around the potatoes, which I already do because we preheated the oil. So I am actually going to lower it. Oh, I'm going to keep it at this medium heat. And it'll take about 10 to 12 minutes. The potatoes won't really get any color, but that they're going to cook, so they'll get softer. So check in with them in about 10 minutes with a fork. You can just fork test it. If you can get a fork in it, then you can eat it. So that's a good test for doneness for potatoes. So we'll let the potatoes continue to cook as well as continue to keep an eye on your onions. Date on the recipe. So the potatoes and onions are still cooking separately. I want to see if I could take you over because that's easier for me to do than... Okay, so here's my stovetop. You see the potatoes
Yummy.
cooking. You see the bubbles, like it's not too rapid of a boil for the oil. And then you see the onions are browning. They're definitely not burning. They're still browning. And keep an eye on that temperature. I turned mine down a bit, okay? So that's where we are right now. And we have about 5 more minutes on the potatoes. And we're just getting ready. So when you're cooking, you're always looking at that next step. Okay, well, what do I need to get ready for that next step? So we're getting ready to combine the eggs.
So you're going to need 8 eggs.
Yes.
And fairly large eggs.
Yep. So you can start cracking them, Margo.
So, yeah.
So we're going to crack them into a bowl.
Pretty big eggs.
Mm-hmm. And I put a little discard bowl for you here so you can put the shells in them. Try not to get the shells in.
I won't.
Okay, so you're going to crack all the eggs, and then we are going to add the onions and the potatoes, but that step will come in a bit.
Yummy.
All right, so Margo is continuing to crack the eggs. What did I just share with you?
That an eggshell can attract a tiny bit of an eggshell, and if you dropped it in your eggs when you were cracking.
That's what I heard. Let's not peel the egg apart, but let's.
No.
Okay, so Margo has a little bit of an eggshell in there. I said it's actually better to use a part of the eggshell to get out that wayward eggshell because I don't know if it's true, but
it worked.
I feel like they're made of the same stuff, so they're attracted, and it's easier to get out rather than using a spoon.
It worked.
Good. All right, continue. All right.
So, I've cracked all of my eggs. I don't know if you can see that, but there you go.
So 8 eggs. 8 eggs in there, right? And we're going to check.
So,
I'm going to bring over, actually you can see me right here. So I'm going to check one of the potatoes. We're coming up on about 10 minutes, and they look great. So my fork went through them perfectly. They're soft, okay? So I'm going to take those out, honey. Let me just give this is important because this is sort of dangerous and you want a parent to do this. You're going to turn off the heat.
They're in college. I think they can do it.
No, this is for people cooking with students, with their children.
Oh.
Your age. So, I know they can do it. So this you're going to take, I've set a colander over a bowl, okay?
Remember, it's
but
still very hot.
I want to do this slowly so that no oil spatters. And we want to reserve the oil. Remember I said we were going to use it? So I'm going to do this as slowly as I can. Ooh, of course my dog is right below me.
Good job, Roman.
Okay, so there we go. Get all the potatoes out.
I don't know know if you guys can see that, but look at all the oil.
So I'll take this over to show you. These potatoes look fabulous. Like, the color didn't change that much, but they just look a little brown on the edges, and they're soft, and I have the oil there. Remember, that's very hot oil, so only an adult should be touching that.
No children.
I'm going to measure out a 1/4 cup of this reserved oil. So right now, we're going to take what Margot did. She has the eggs, okay? And you have, let me give you a fork right here.
Forky time.
And you know what? I'm happy with the status of my onions. I don't, hold on, I just want to show them the onions. I don't think we need to go any longer. So, again, they're not burnt. They're just a nice deep brown, okay? So I'm going to call it quits on the onions for this.
Okay, so we stopped at like 4 to 5
that was about
25
minutes. 25 minutes on the onions. Okay, so we are going to combine. Now remember, these are hot. I don't want these. Well, it can cook the egg. It's okay. Sometimes you don't want to cook the egg because you don't want to cook it. So I'm going to add the potatoes to the eggs. Ooh, are you okay? Did I hit you? Oh, okay. I'm going to measure out a 1/4 cup of this reserved oil. Remember, it is very hot. And I'm going to measure out a 1/4 cup.
Parent should be doing this.
Well, yeah, this is just
college
hot oil.
College student should be doing this.
All right, so I'm adding hot oil into here, okay?
Can I still, like, mix it, or, like, is that
You will in a second, yeah. Okay, adding that in, and I'm also going to add...
The eggs are reacting to the hot oil and, like, separating.
Onions. Watch out, because this is hot, too. Putting our onions in there so you can see it. Here we go. Getting our onions in there. Okay, so we have pretty much all of our ingredients in here, and now the fun part is coming. Margot's going to combine these. She's going to whisk them with her fork a little bit.
I'm so scared.
Don't be scared. While she does that, I'm transitioning to a non-stick, about a 10-inch skillet. Before, for the onions, I was using just a regular
so make sure you have a lot of
metal
clean
saute pan, but this one I'm using non-stick because we are going to be flipping over the frittata, okay? Or the tortilla, Espanola.
So make sure you have a lot of pans in action.
Well, we're going to need a plate of roughly the size of the frying pan. So what are you doing here, Margaret? You got it all...
Sing it. It's not ready yet, Mommy. You're taking it over.
So I'm going to use 3 tablespoons of the reserved oil. Like I said, we're continuing to use this oil. And you can actually keep this oil and use it again. I wouldn't pour it back into your container, but you could keep it and use it again. So I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of that reserved oil into our non-stick 10-inch frying pan.
What she means is put it in your fridge.
No, you don't want to put oil in your fridge.
Whatever, I don't care. I don't know enough about cooking.
You know what happens to oil when you put it in the fridge? Because it's fat.
It explodes?
No, it hardens up. Like, so you know if you make salad dressing, fresh salad dressing, and you put it in the fridge, and the next day you go use it, and it's like hard, and it has to come to room temperature.
I love that.
All right, so we're going to show them this.
It's not ready yet.
Okay, it should be ready. All right, so Margot has mixed this all up.
It may look a little gross at first, but I promise you, it's delicious.
It's going to be delicious. Okay, so that's good. Now we're going to heat up, we're going to heat this pan up to, I would say, medium-high heat. I'm going to let this oil heat up for a little bit before we put the tortilla Espanola stuff in there, okay? All right, so we've come to the big moment of actually making it, okay? Our oil, 3 tablespoons of oil has been heating up in our nonstick pan, and Margot mixed this so well, and it's all ready to go in. So I'm going to bring it over.
And this is a college student job, so.
I am going to put this in. Oh. Do you want to bring it over maybe?
Yep,
Margot,
I'll bring it.
Because I'm going to show them what I'm going to be doing as it heats up. So you see the oil sort of pooled around the side, which is good. It's going to help to create this. And I'm waiting to see the outer edges start to cook a little bit. But to make sure it all gets cooked evenly, I'm going to continue to sort of push down the side of the pan and into the center. And you're seeing some of the egg that's cooked is coming up. I think I'm going to put this on a higher temperature, personally. Medium-high. So I'm going to continue to go around like this. Scrape away. And I can see there's egg cooking below. I'm pushing that into the center. A little rest for a second. But I'm going to continue. Do you see that? How when I go like that, there's egg that's been cooked underneath? And so you're taking that away and allowing the uncooked egg that's on top to go down the bottom and become cooked. And we're going to continue doing this until we have a more solid frittata. Okay, so the middle is getting a little more cooked. So I'm now just sort of lifting up the edges and letting the uncooked egg come over. Like that, all around. It's just a process. You got to keep going.
Yummy.
Lifting it up.
And you can see it's getting like thicker.
Yep, it's definitely getting more done in the center. And we're waiting for it to feel more solid so we can flip it.
And make sure that you spread out all the potatoes. Because potatoes
I keep
are
doing.
good.
I sort of reposition the potatoes because I want everybody to get a bite of potato in there.
But also the egg.
But do you see what I'm doing? I'm just pushing away the side, tilting the pan, and getting the egg that has not cooked back over there. So I will continue to do that until it's more firm. Okay, so we're at the point where when I go like this, not much egg is coming into that area. So I'm going to let it set a little bit more, and then we will do the flipping process, which I hope works because I feel like this seems a little different than the time I did it before, so we're always learning. Okay, I don't know if you can hear it, but it's starting to bubble a bit around the center and around the sides, so that means it's starting to cook a little bit more, so I am going to let it cook underneath before I even attempt to flip it over. So this is when I get nervous because I'm like, is it time to flip it or isn't it? But I feel like the outer edges are done, okay? Like I can fit my spatula underneath all around here, but yet the center is not cooked. That's why we need to flip it over.
So
I'm going to attempt to do this. So it may not turn out, and that's okay. I'm gonna put a plate on top of here, and the plate fits roughly the size. Okay, Margot, can you move it away? Actually, just put it on the table.
Sorry.
That's okay. All right. So I'm gonna put one hand. This is something for the adults to do again because this is hot, and I could totally mess this up. So one hand at the bottom, or actually maybe I'll go like this, and I'm gonna flip it fast. Turn it over.
And pray it's okay.
It doesn't feel okay. It is not okay. It is not okay. It is completely stuck. Hold on. Hold on. We're going to fix it. We're going to fix this. I'm going to try to loosen what I have in here. Okay. Now I'm going to try to flip it. I'm going to do this again.
It's okay. Everybody makes mistakes,
That's
guys.
right. Well, I mean, we're gonna go with it because there's no other way to do it. I'm gonna put back what I got back on there. Okay. All right. Let's try this again. Okay.
Guys, let's try this again.
Let's try this again. Top again. And flip it over.
Pray. Please be okay. Please. Cooking. This matters. All on cooking.
Okay. We got most of it out.
Delicious.
I guess I let it burn a little bit. Okay. So now you do want to slide it back into your pan. That actually worked. Thank goodness. Okay. So we slid it back in there. So we can cook. So it's slid back in there. It doesn't look that bad, okay? And we're going to let it cook on the bottom a little bit more. Can we have it back on?
Yes.
So we're going to let it cook on the bottom. See, it doesn't look that bad, right? Okay. So let it cook for a few more minutes on the bottom, and then you're ready to slide it onto a plate to start slicing up to serve. So I'll show you then. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Just kidding! So hey, I've made this many times, and for some reason today, it's not working out. Of course not. But I let it cook for a few more minutes on the bottom so that I finished cooking on the bottom.
I'd eat this, guys.
It is round in shape, okay? So we've got that going for us. I'm going to take it over here and try to slide it onto another plate.
Okay. And hopefully you guys are making much better ones than this, and it's not looking like a blob.
I don't know what.
Hopefully it looks like this. Yummy.
I'm giving up today.
Oh, wow. Yummy.
Shh, Margo.
That's delicious.
Shouldn't. You know what? We're going to serve it like this, and we're going to cut it straight out of here.
Yum.
Okay? and we're gonna cut it like that and eat it. But we're not gonna eat it right now because we need to let it cool for a little bit.
I want some.
Well, not right now. It's actually gonna be our dinner tonight, whether you want it or not now. Okay, so I hope everybody's laughing with me. I hope yours turns out way better than mine. This would pair really well with a green salad and a nice vinaigrette. So show us your finished products. And be careful, it's going to be really hot. And
No, it isn't.
we're still going to eat this tonight for dinner. It's going to be delicious.
We have no choice.
Thanks for watching and laughing with us. Bye.